Welcome to the Blooming League of Original Podcasts.
G'day, summer down under has kicked in and it's stinking hot here in Melbourne, but we're about to turn up the heat. Welcome to Thrash and Treasure, the torture chamber musical podcast that pits me, Aaron, against my mate here, Gareth. How you doing this week?
I'm hot.
Well, that's up for debate.
I'm doing great because it's summer and I love summer. As long as the sun doesn't touch my skin, I'm happy.
Well, yeah, you would burn up, wouldn't you?
I do,
Turn
yeah.
to ash.
Like, psh, yeah.
Whereas I hiss at the sun. And then I hide.
There's worse places to be, let's be honest.
No, it's all good, yeah, but apart from dying in the heat, about 4 a.m. last night, I decided to shave my head, and for absolutely no reason at all, I gave myself a mohawk.
All right.
Just for the sake of it. I haven't done that in a few years, but I did it myself, so it's less of a mohawk and more of a question mark.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boom, boom.
But yes, but other than that, no, I don't think I have any. I have nothing to complain about.
Nothing to complain about.
Weird. So the Earth is going to end any minute. Let's just say that. I could complain about all the people complaining at the moment.
But that's...
but I'll save that. So yeah, you gave me yet another metal album this week.
I did.
An actual metal album.
Oh, finally.
Why do you hate it so much?
You said you had nothing to complain about. I'm waiting for the glowing...
Oh, no, I do though.
The glowing positivity. Okay.
Me and you, totally good on us, dickheads. Cliff Richard released an album 2 months ago, or not even, like a month and a half ago.
Wow, okay.
And I only just read that probably about an hour ago, and I'm like, oh, shit. Because Bonnie Tyler had done a single on it, and I was reading about Bonnie Tyler.
Wow.
Because I was on yet another Wikipedia rabbit hole.
That's random. Bonnie Tyler on a Cliff Richard album, isn't it? That's a bit random.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, they're 15 years apart. So it's not that random.
Okay. But there you go. There you go.
Metallica will work with the symphony.
Yeah, and Lady Gaga.
And Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And Lady Gaga will sing with Tony Bennett. So,
yeah.
Look, anything can happen in the world of music. Like me perhaps liking a metal album for change. So would you like to hear my review?
I would love to. What's the point of being here if I don't hear your review?
Well, hearing it is one thing, listening is another. Let's test that theory, shall we?
Okay.
When I first saw the cover, I thought, oh, hang on, no, before I get into my usual review, I should say what album you gave me, which you gave me Slayer.
I did.
Rain in Blood.
Yes.
And, so when I first saw the cover, I thought, this isn't Buffy. Where's Anthony Stewart Head?
Oh.
That would have been perfect timing, because in 3 weeks' time, I will be celebrating 10 years since I collaborated with Dark Horse and Joss Whedon and had my work featured in Buffy Season 8.
Hey.
The season finale. Oh, shit, has it been 10 years already? Where was I? Wait, where was I? All right, Slayer. Which, come to think of it, is very much a word which exists outside of Buffy. Much like how the words quality, integrity, and comedy exist outside of this podcast. Far away. Like, so far away.
This is true.
It's not even funny. Anyways, I promised last week that if I was given a proper, actual thrash album, that I would automatically give it 3 stars.
Yes.
So I do, now. But, lo and behold, upon my research, I discovered that Slayer has a reputation following them. A reputation of accusations that they feature Nazi imagery and possible Nazistic sympathies. And I was like, hang on a minute. Episode 1, I'm tricked into hating an album full of racial wars and land rights riots. And now he takes advantage of my kindness and tricks me into giving 3 stars to something which has been accused of being Nazi propaganda? What sort of sick game are you playing, Gareth?
Evil.
Well, yeah, tell me about it. Well, yet again, the village idiot will outwit the leading Lothario. 3 stars to begin, but -2 stars for a song about that dickwad Joseph Mengele, the Auschwitz Nazi doctor with the eponymous song on track 1, Angel of Death. Angel was in Buffy. And Angel 2. So for that reason, another -1.5, just cause. Minus another 2 for the song Necrophilia.
That's necrophobic.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So,
whoops, I was thinking about my last gig.
Oh.
Anyway, but then +2 for the ripping guitar riffs throughout, as they seemed slightly more discernible among the rubble. But then -1 because I could barely understand half of the lyrics, even with 2 surround sounds plugged in, which created enough bass to knock my useless pop culture tchotchkes over. And if my figures of Lord Voldemort had a nose, they would be squashed by now. But ultimately, even if I did know what awful atrocities are being described / shouted at me, I'm not sure I'd want to know. Like the song Pandemic. Because what the world needs right now is more exposure to anything with that title, which grants them another -1. But fractions confuse my tiny brain, so +0.5 point. But whilst Gareth delivered on the Thrash front, God, try saying that 10 times fast. But whilst Gareth delivered on the Thrash front, his sneakiness warrants them another -2. Plus, the song Piece by Piece, whilst fittingly headbang worthy, was in fact not the Kelly Clarkson song of the same name, so minus another point. But even without paying attention to the controversial lyrics, I did get my 80s "fuck you, mum and dad" sound, which reminds me of the good times back in the late 80s, early 90s. So that deserves 2 points. And I'll grant another 3 points for each time I was told to turn that bloody record down.
Wow.
But ultimately, that was my fault, so -1 for that. So to round up, there were some delicious guitar licks, but overall, even if the controversies didn't exist, I'm not sure I'd be hailing Slayer anytime soon. I'd maybe hail them a cab, but only if I was feeling nice. They say that in every generation there is a chosen band, but this is not it. And you may say the mighty Slayer, but I say meh, the alrighty Slayer.
No.
As for my score, I hope you're keeping up, because I failed maths 3 years in a row before they kicked me out.
I think you gave it 28 points. I think.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Also, the song Pandemic's epidemic. It's not a pandemic, it's an epidemic.
No, it came up on my screen as Pandemic.
Oh, okay. It's definitely epidemic.
On the Spotify?
Yeah, Spotify's wrong.
Is it? Oh, it said... Well, if the controller wasn't on the other side of the room right now and me connected up to the laptop, I would prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Just for my ego, but I won't, because I'm lazy. Yeah, so if you
so not a
can
fan.
count,
Not a fan.
okay, no, look, I probably could have been, but I got to admit that to see the controversy, which I know they follow every metal band. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not stupid.
God.
I do know this, and I also know that metal is a lot about satire and tongue-in-cheek. But then I remembered what you did to me in episode 1, and my little promise last week to give it 3 stars, and I'm like weighing it up in my hands. I'm like, hang on a second, he's trying to make me look bad.
Yeah.
I'm not that stupid.
I don't have to try.
You don't have to try.
I don't have to
will
try.
do
Just
that.
let it. I just let it go. Yeah.
Well, if I don't put this in, it's probably going to get accused of being racist. But if I was an American Indian, my name would be Little Foot in Mouth, basically. So
we can leave that in.
which is something. Yeah, never repeat that joke, please.
It's a shame we have to cut that one out.
It's not a hateful joke at all. Again, but you know what people are like.
Yes.
It brings up this point that is something that I think about lots lately, about people being offended by things. I don't know if it's that they're necessarily offended by it. It's that they're afraid to be offended. It's like being offended by something is the worst thing, that they can't handle that. And we're in that times at the moment. So I mean, the fact that they've lasted so long and they're so massively popular, and clearly it's obviously there's a miscommunication there. They clearly do like the darker things in life.
Oh, yeah.
Or they would be a fucking jazz band, for crying out loud.
That is true.
So, I'm not stupid enough in that. But yeah, to read that straight away after my first listen, I was like, damn it, he got me again.
Yeah. I'd actually forgotten, because it's just so ridiculous, and I'd completely forgotten about the controversy of this album, because, growing up a metal fan, I lived through the PMRC in the US, and Judas Priest were in court and they were being sued for, causing the suicide death of one guy and his friend, and it's just, and it's the whole backmasking, playing your shit backwards and finding, devil's lyrics. And it's just so, that kind of shit just washes over me, because it's just so ridiculous.
The same people who burned Harry Potter books.
Yeah, same thing. And it's like, seriously, guy. And Slayer would kind of, they weren't going to hide anything. They were essentially, Kerry King, the lead guitarist, and he does a lot of the lyrics and music, and he's just like, we're just going to do a big fuck you. It's like, fuck you. No, we don't worship the devil, but if you want to believe it, fuck you. I'm going to write a song about Satan, or 10 songs about Satan. They're not.
That's the thing about atheism. You can't not believe in God without not believing in Satan.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Full stop, because they both exist on the same coin.
It's the same thing.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I wasn't throwing that in there because here's a shit ton of controversy from a bunch of people that just don't get it. It was and they're not. They're clearly not. I mean, Lemmy from Motorhead he collected Nazi memorabilia and World War II memorabilia. Really? Not because he was a Nazi, because he was actually really interested fascinating in war history and this sort of thing. And these guys are the same. It's just like, necrophobic. They don't want to, sleep with corpses or anything that I know of. So, yeah. But
well, apparently that was my last gig, not theirs.
Yeah. Don't you love a starfish? Anyway, yeah. So no, I wasn't trolling you with the content. I genuinely, if someone says to me, what's the greatest metal album ever made, I will say Slayer, Rain in Blood every day.
Really? Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm just partly teasing.
And it's only 28 minutes long, so without the bonus tracks. It's it's short
really?
and sharp.
Why did it feel like 2 months?
Yeah.
I did enjoy the music again. Like it's been the same with a lot of them, where the music itself. So I think the guitar was a lot better than the drums, although obviously they're clearly talented. But no, in terms of what I could hear, like where I could get some rhythm or some melody out of it, there wasn't so much in the drums as there is maybe other bands like Caligula's Horse, Josh Griffin's, whatever his name is. I don't know if it's Griffin or Griffith. I don't know, so I'm just going to say Griffin's. And then one day someone's going to correct me, and I'm still going to say Griffin's because it's funny. Yep. You know what I mean? Like that. Whereas the guitar, there was some delicious licks in there. I'm not totally ignorant to 80s metal because I grew up with that era. Although when my brother was here the other day, I asked him if he listened to Slayer, and it was very awkward because I had a conversation with my brother, which doesn't happen very often, but we did, about music, which then got onto Eminem, and then my dad turned around and showed him a video of me performing Eminem on stage. And I'm like, guys, don't. Like, that was a practical joke. You don't get up and do Eminem in front of a bunch of 70, 80-year-olds because you're serious about it. I was clearly trolling you all. I was dressed up as a nerd with a fucking bow tie on. Why are you showing my brother now? It was 4 years ago. But anyways, he said no and then questioned me why. To which I acted coy and like, oh, just, just got to do something for work and I have to listen to a Slayer album. I didn't say what. I didn't say where or why or how.
Just leave
But,
it at that.
I didn't. Yeah, because I didn't recognize any of their songs or
No.
the names of the songs or anything. So they obviously weren't in our repertoire back then when we were kids.
No,
or he was a teenager. And...
Yeah, I can't.
Sorry?
I can't see any of these songs ever being played on FM rock radio ever.
Oh no.
And certainly, they're not a singles band. They don't do singles. So, although, yeah, most of their songs, the longest one's nearly 5 minutes long, which is Angel of Death. The rest of them barely break the 3-minute mark. So, it's over pretty quickly.
Was it maybe it's just because I had it on repeat that it just all sounded like
they're not a melodic band, so there's not a lot of groove of you get some
got that.
real groove metal and some melody and that sort of thing. But yeah.
You're gonna get some dark stories and stuff, which I'm completely not adverse to. If anyone's read the Toniston Tales, why? Firstly, no, I'm kidding. Go and read the Toniston Tales, but it is dark.
Yeah,
it's dark. It's. I'm not going to say what it's about. He's an anti-hero. He's not a hero. He's not a very likable character when you meet him. The story is dark. The message is dark, but it's also something we should all be living by. All of us, except when it comes to spiders. But I won't go there.
Yep.
Because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But there are things like Jojo Rabbit that exist. The Inglourious Bastards exist, and Christoph Waltz has some funny lines in that movie. You find yourself, as an audience member, laughing at him, and he is charismatic in that part. He's evil. He's a fucking dickwad in it, but he is charismatic. And don't need to go into any of the history of the Nazis. We all get reminded of it every single time there's a Twitter fight. But also, look at something like Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah.
Look, there was a UK sitcom, Hail Honey, I'm Home, which was about Adolf Hitler moved in... Adolf and Eva Braun moved in next door to a Jewish couple.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it lasted one episode, maybe two. The concept, the fact that somebody would do that, to me is hilarious, because what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What did you think would happen?
Yeah.
When you went to when you put that on air, and to think about it, do you know how TV gets made? It doesn't just appear on our screens. That show wasn't just birthed that morning. There was a vetting process, a casting process. There was a writer's room. What the hell?
The pitch.
That to me is hilarious.
Right from the pitch is,
oh my God.
Oh, Hitler and Eva Braun moved next to the nice Jewish couple, and someone someone literally went, "Tell me more. I want to know where the story goes." It goes to one season.
That to me is hilarious. Yeah, it went to one episode.
One episode.
I'm pretty certain.
There's an amazing book I read called "Look Who's Back," and it's obviously satirical, and I can't remember who wrote it because I just pulled it off the top of my head, and it's about Hitler actually moves through time into present day, and he just lands in Munich or Berlin or somewhere, and he's in present day, and he has no friggin' idea what's going on, and he ends up being on the TV, and he's a big star, and he's still being him. And it's incredibly amazing satirical book. I thought I laughed out loud. I thought it was great. I think it was made into a
remake of. Was it? Was that inspired by Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain? By any chance?
I don't know, because I haven't read that one.
Because it kind of sounds like it.
Okay.
A reverse premise. Well, what was that? Just Visiting with Jean Reno and I think maybe Chris Rock or somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, no, don't. Let's not
All
go
right,
there. That
let's not
film,
go down that rabbit hole.
It bombed for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, I watched Jojo Rabbit
Yeah.
recently, and
That's fan. I loved it. I went
I
to the.
cried.
I went to the movies. Yeah.
Beautiful movie.
I get that.
Controversial.
Yeah.
Obviously. And look, just people. What's happening today is that context is gone,
Mm.
and that's the problem.
Yep.
Because art has context. Full stop. So, and that's where when a lot of these book burnings happen, and CD burnings happen, because people ignore the context of something, and they take it as a straight up message. When you do get kids, even myself, who will watch a show like Buffy and get the morals from it and live by that moral sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, you do get kids who listen to music nonstop and live by that message. Yes, that's gonna happen. But that doesn't mean it. All art has to be muted.
Oh God, no.
You know, and that's not to say I condone any sort of, things that are probably we shouldn't be doing. Don't put out a fucking song celebrating a pedophile or some crap. I don't want to fucking hear that shit.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't stand by your right to do it, because I would be worried about what the intention of that artist is, especially nowadays, in that art is becoming activism. And that's all good as well, but art on its own is activism.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need to add the activism on top of that and make artivism, because you're just then hammering the audience over the head. So I do respect any musicians and artists or whoever that will tell their stories, but in an unapologetic way.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're there for.
I
Obviously there is a line. There is a line with everything, but that line is getting lower and lower and lower as the days go on, and that's quite sad to me.
Yeah, I don't think.
But
I don't think the Kerry King or Tom Araya from Slayer would ever apologise for anything they've ever done.
Well, no, I don't think any artist should.
No, not unless they did something really shitty.
Guess what? I put on a Slayer music video.
Ah, okay.
And the first person I saw, I pointed at the screen and went, "It's Frogurt from Lost, right? His name was Neil.
Okay.
But for the first few seasons, he was mentioned as being, just Frogurt, like Frogurt did this or whatnot. We never actually saw him. And then it ended up being Sean Whalen in like season 4 or 5 or something, when he was finally in the main show. He'd only done a web, missing pieces or something like that until then. Right, so he was a running character, like a running gag in the show for a couple of seasons before we actually saw him. And then he got killed off when he got a flaming arrow in his chest or whatever. But he was I watched the video for Repentless.
Right. Oh, that's a new one. Yeah, that's a new one. Yep.
Yeah, and he's the nerdy security guard at the very start of it, right?
That's a pretty brutal video.
I saw,
yeah. Yep.
It is. Danny Trejo and Derek Mears and Tyler Kane, who was, I think, Beast or Sabretooth in... Sabretooth, sorry, not Beast, in X-Men, the first film, and then got replaced.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But so I was recognizing all these actors and stuff, and then I read the thing down, and I looked and I saw, oh God, I was right about that. I really need a love life. But it was quite a brutal video.
Yes.
And we have 6 Degrees of Anthony Stewart Head, because that video was directed by BJ McDonnell, who did the camera work for Age of Ultron, directed by Joss Whedon, who of course created Buffy. So that's not even 6 degrees. That's
not
like
even
2 degrees of Anthony Stewart Head. So pat on the back to me for that one.
Well done.
Because when I read, video directed by BJ McDonnell, my first instinct for any filmmaker is to look at their previous work, or to look at their body of work.
Yep.
I don't follow actors to TV shows or movies or whatnot, I follow filmmakers and writers and stuff. That's where my interest lies. I do love some actors, of course, but I'm not going to watch a show just because Sarah Michelle Gellar's on it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to watch a show because of the pedigree of the writers and the producers and the directors is there. If she's in it, that's just a bonus.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was I was quite impressed to find straight away Age of Ultron. I'm like, hey, I don't have to go looking.
Look at that. There it is.
I don't have to. Yeah. So I watched a couple of their videos. They were quite brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They pretty
Look,
much.
I did enjoy the sound of the music.
Okay.
As I say.
Well, I don't want you to love it. What's the point? This podcast will just fall in a heap. We'll just turn into a fucking love fest. So
yeah. So
you know.
People at home listening, don't get too excited. When we do like an album, get excited then because a miracle happened.
A miracle has happened. Well, it's happened once, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like this is the game,
Mm.
and I'm
Yep.
pretty certain it will happen again. It's when it comes to their Nazi accusations and all that. Look, obviously there are people who read too much into things. I know this. I see it daily. I see it daily from both sides, the left wing and the right wing. It drives me nuts, you know. And it really boils down to that point of, we can use Michael Jackson as an example here. By listening to Michael Jackson's music, are you condoning the accusations that he was given or that were made about him? You know, and we are, as a society, very deep into this conversation right now. But the problem I have with it is there is not a discussion. It is a one-way street. It is one side coming down and saying blah, 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 blah. And then the other side's doing their opposite direction in their faces, and they're just clashing because it's all just, every issue is being treated as a battle. It's not being treated as a conversation. Which relates to the prom. Because when I watched the movie the other night, I had a reaction to it, and that I said out loud to nobody the part James Corden was born to play.
Okay.
Only to then go online and see that some Australian critic, in quotation marks, I'm sorry, if you are using your position as a movie critic, I did it again, as a movie critic to enhance your politics, get another job. I don't want to hear about your politics when I want to learn about a fucking film, for one thing. And I say this as a member of the LGBT community who sits here with injuries from the past 20 years, so I didn't get by easily like some of the kids today might be. Like some of the kids today who are complaining about James Corden being cast in this film. Right? The problem here is that we have the left wing now saying, I'm going to boycott this movie because it's homophobic. And we have the right wing claiming they don't want gay shit rubbed in their faces. But on that, firstly, does gay shit smell better than straight shit? And how can you tell? Is it rainbow? Is it glittery? Secondly, it's not that gay shit is being rubbed in anybody's faces that upsets them. It's the feeling that power being stripped away, right? That power that they cannot any longer say to somebody, you're not allowed welcome in here because you're gay. That power is being taken away from them. So, of course, it is human nature for someone to react like that. I mean, look at this year. We've asked people to wear a fucking mask, and what have they acted like? Their liberty's been given up. Oh, shut the fuck up. I've lost 2 aunts to this coronavirus, and I have to sit there and watch you guys fight about fucking masks? Seriously.
Yep.
Anyways. And in the end, how can you really tell bigoted shit? I mean, sure, you're going to find it stinking up a fucking closet. But in the end, it's going to be those who tell somebody, you can't do that because you're a particular thing. So to both sides, I say, shut the fuck up. The Prom, excellent movie. Now on to you, Gareth. That's my rant over, and I really do hope you leave all that in there.
Okay.
But I know your reputation's on the line just as much as mine.
I don't. It's a podcast. I don't care. It's not.
But I do say that as a member of their community,
I'm
a member
down.
that they're fighting for, someone who was picked on at school, somebody who, as a 12-year-old, sat there going, I cannot wait to one day play the Phantom of the Opera.
Mm.
And to think now as a 35-year-old, I'm going to have someone turn to me and say, you can't play the Phantom because you're straight?
Mm.
Wow. What are you fighting for then? What the fuck are you fighting for if not for those little 12-year-old kids who were getting beaten up and would escape into the theatre? And you want to say there's no representation? What the fuck was Sal Mineo? What the fuck was Rock Hudson?
Mm.
What the fuck was all these other... A Tab Hunter. The reputation has always been there.
Mm.
They might not have always been front and centre in the media because, yeah, society was like that. But actors have always been gay.
Mm. Yep.
And if you want to see yourself in something, right? You want to see yourself in a movie, you want authenticity, turn off your fucking TV and look in your reflection. I want to see actors change themselves from movie to movie.
Mm.
Anyways, sorry, it's just between me and you, it's really, really upset me, this whole thing.
Mm. Okay.
Because I think about that kid that I was.
Yep.
And the people who would tell me that I couldn't do shit because I was gay.
Mm. Yep. Yep.
And I still get it now. And I have to hear him get it when he was brilliant. Oh my God. Anyways, sorry. Ooh. Suddenly got hot in here.
Yeah. Okay.
On that note, Gareth, what did you think of the Prom?
What did I... Well, when I first saw the cover of the Prom, I thought, yep, that's a Broadway musical.
I've been waiting.
It's a big...
I've been waiting.
It's a big fucking
You
purple
rubbing
cover
it.
with some sparkles, and it couldn't be more gay, could it? It was just so sparkly, wonderful. I had no idea what this was about. I'd never heard of it. I know you watched the movie because I saw you tweet about it. I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
I'm
Fantastic.
probably going to watch the movie. I might grab one of my kids and we can watch it together, and that way I can, share it or something. But it's
shed a tear.
When I first listened to this, and I did no research into it, and I was just listening to it, and I thought, why the hell are we still telling this story? None of this. This is 2020. Why are we still making stuff about people just wanting to be themselves?
I know, right?
Yeah. And then I did some research, and it didn't take a lot of research, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, this damn story is only 10 years old, and this is based on a true story. So
Yep.
I'm like, then I said, fuck you, Aaron. Fuck you, because I really dislike the first two songs, and
Now,
you
have to buy me dinner first.
Yeah, and you've just dropped this story on me that I can't hate.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And the song Just Breathe, that's a tearjerker. That hits you right in the feels. The next one, it wasn't the next one, but Dance With You, that just slayed me. I was over. I'm done. I don't want to hear the end of this. I'm done. I'm just sitting there and my heart's just hurting. And it's just, it's just a kid going, I just want to take my girlfriend to the prom. Yeah. I just want to dance with who I want to dance with. I want to be who I want to be. And it's a great story. And like I said, it's really sad that it still has to be told. And there's not a better way to tell the story than with a fucking musical, because
and a musical comedy at that, because it is. And there are the four leads that are heightened. There is
some genuinely funny stuff in there. There's some stuff that I didn't
have
get.
To help that little lesbian.
That was yeah. The big Hollywood Broadway star who's who's kind of finds out about it, and that's Dee Dee Allen.
Well, technically, okay. I think it's Nicole Kidman's character, the other one, who's a chorus girl.
Right.
So there's you've done it again. Every episode, there's not been one yet that you haven't skipped to the end of a story.
No,
to start
I know.
your review.
No, I was.
The show is about the prom,
Yeah.
right, and about this young girl who wants to take her girlfriend to the prom. However, it's being told through the crazy eyes, let's just say, of 4 Broadway wash-ups.
Right.
We have Dee Dee and Barry, who in the movie Meryl Streep, who's fantastic. She's been getting better in her musical roles, thank God. Because if she is insisting on doing them, at least please get better at it. She was fantastic though. She played Eleanor Roosevelt in a musical at the very start, so I won't say what happens there. Alongside Barry, played by James Corden in the movie, and Brooks Ashkamankis.
Yep.
Dee Dee was played by Beth Leavel. I think that's how you pronounce her name, or Leavel. So it's hard, but our listeners are probably more likely to know the movie actors than they are the Broadway ones. I guess
I haven't seen the movie. It's not not at the movies. All right, it's
on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
Very gay.
Yeah.
Very gay, and I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
I had 3 meals of KFC during that movie. 3 separate meals, 3 days in a row.
All right.
That's how much I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Right,
I didn't know KFC. Sorry, Freudian slip. I didn't know KFC was a measure of gayness.
Oh no! It's for me. It's a measure of how much I want to watch something.
Right. Okay.
Right. So if I'm really excited about seeing something, I'm going to get my favorite foods.
Okay.
All right. And I'll stack up on it and freeze it like fried chicken, and put it in the freezer.
Jesus.
Right. Shut up.
No. Hey, I'm not judging frozen fried chicken at all. I love fried chicken.
But anyways,
about
this movie, right? So these 2 Broadway leads, plus there's Nicole Kidman's character, whose name's escaped me now. She is a chorus girl who's always wanted to be in the lead in Chicago, but she just never gets a chance. And then there's Andrew Reynolds' character, who he was in the original Book of Mormon.
Okay.
Right? And he is a bartender and a Juilliard graduate that really has no career going. So the 4 of them find out about this young girl and think to themselves, well, how can we revive our careers? Oh, I know. Let's go save this girl. And that's why they're like, let's go help this little lesbian.
Hence,
and they travel.
Yeah. And that's, hence the song, It's Not About Me. It's about, and they go, what's her name? Emma. Yeah. It's about Emma. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So they are caricatures,
funny.
which is this controversy that's going around about it. And think about it, you've got a movie that's pretty much an entirely LGBT production team.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so directors and writers and composers and choreographers and blah, 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 right? And probably even more on set. You've got a message about LGBT. You've got a message about acceptance and being yourself, and who cares what someone is, just let them do what they want to do.
Yeah.
They're not hurting anyone.
Yeah, let them...
Is it just me, or is that message being lost?
It is.
With this controversy.
I get there's gay actors out there and there's trans actors out there, and they need work and they need jobs. I'm like, you're an actor, act. If you're the best person for this role, just act the shit out of it.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. I do not want to see gay actors play gay roles only.
No, because that's not fucking
That's
acting.
an insult.
Yeah,
that is putting people in a box. It goes against a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 year tradition of acting, of what people do, or however old it is. I don't know when acting started. I probably should know that. Being teen musical, like I don't want to see that.
And here's the thing about this musical: it is so self-aware. It's not funny, and it is clearly
tongue-in-cheek.
it is so clearly tongue-in-cheek, and there's some huge parodies being played, and then it's, and there's some really serious, beautiful parts in it, but it's not, it's not being camp for the sake of being camp. It's campy because that's what it is, and it knows it's camp as shit. So it's like.
And it's so funny you say that, because that review that sparked up this whole controversy mentions campness, right? That by James Corden portraying the role as camp, he has set us back 10 years or some bullshit like that. Now, you didn't hear James Corden, did you? You heard Brooks, and what was he in that role?
Yeah.
What was Barry? Camp as a row of tents.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the day, I can turn it on every now and then when I get excited about something. I look at what we're campaigning for.
Yeah.
We're campaigning for people to be themselves, to be as flamboyant as they want to be as a non-binary or whatever.
Yep.
To break down those gender barriers. So why then is it a problem that one character out of how many is camp?
Yeah, that's...
To Benjamin Lee, I say go fuck yourself.
Benjamin Lee.
Get another job. Seriously.
Don't think I know Benjamin Lee.
Oh,
anyway.
I don't know him, and I don't like him already.
I don't
because
think
people like him are setting us back 10 years.
Yeah.
Plain and simply. And as I say that as a gay man who sits here with injuries that affect my daily life. I don't get to hold my chest out, my shoulders back, and put my chin up. It hurts. It rips pain through my body.
Yeah.
Because of someone kicking me, calling me a faggot.
Yeah.
Doing a wrestling move on me that hospitalized me. So, people like him, if you want to sit there and say that you are campaigning for people like me, I don't want you to.
Yeah.
I want people like James Corden to flourish.
Yeah. Yeah. It's... yeah. No.
Today.
Seriously, fuck that guy.
Everything genuinely upset me.
Yeah, everything that whoever that dickhead is that found about the movie, and I haven't seen the movie, and I am going to watch it. Yeah, this musical just it nails it. There's song "Love Thy Neighbor" is so delicious and you've got the conservative Christians and it's based in Indiana. It actually happened in Mississippi. It doesn't really fucking matter where it is. It could be in Queensland or Perth.
I live in suburban Melbourne, right? I went to high school where that happened to me.
Yeah.
That was 10 minutes from the city. So this whole small town, small mind business is bullshit.
Oh, no.
It is what people will say to make themselves feel better about themselves. But they are no better than anyone else. Sorry.
Yeah. No. There's. I mean, this is the thing. There is no one is safe in this musical. So it's not, whereas the conservative Christians are getting ripped about it. As you say, the washed up stars, and they're doing it for their own agenda. And right in the middle of it is just this little gay girl who just wants to be herself, and that's all. All she wants to do is
those two aren't parodies. Emma and Alyssa aren't parodies. That's the thing.
It's actually quite jarring when you and I found this jarring when you go from a song like "It's Not About Me," which is hilarious, and then you go into "Dance With You," which is so sweet and so heartfelt, and there's nothing there's nothing funny about it. It's just this beautiful sentiment that and then it goes into the acceptance song, which is a completely over the top. They got the whole ensemble, and they just it actually. I got to tell you, I listened to this a lot of times, many times, and I think I had to kind of find the tone of it, because it's a little bit jarring. It kind of threw me around, because I'm originally, when I first started writing some notes down, I was like, this fucking thing doesn't know what it wants to be. Is it funny? Is it blah, blah, blah? And then I started to get it. And I went, okay, no, they're telling the story exactly, I think, how it should be told. And, you know, and then there's Alyssa Green, who's I'm guessing she's the popular girl from the small town.
She's a cheerleader, yeah.
And she's a cheerleader. So she's got all these expectations of her, of what she should be, because she's and that comes down from her mum and and all that sort of thing. So there's all these kids who just want to be kids and just go to the prom, and they just want to be themselves, and everyone else is telling them it's pretty amazing.
Well, I'm very impressed. I am. I knew you'd at least find the story cute.
Yeah.
But I didn't think you would enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
The music's very 80s.
The music's very 80s, and it did, I struggle.
Like
I struggle with some of it because it's not my genre at all.
Oh, obviously.
But I'm sort of, if you scratch back at that and look at the story of it and how they've told it, not even that, big chorus lines are not my thing, but how they've told the story. This is when I say it's such a self-aware musical, it knows what it's doing, and it knows it's fucking jazz hands, and it's campy, and it knows all that, and it doesn't pretend not to be.
When you have shaky hands,
yeah.
When you have shaky hands, give them some jazz hands. It's literally a lyric in the song, so you're absolutely right. There's so much jazz hands and
which is
change and all that.
Yeah, and it's funny, and I think whereas as you say, it's quite an 80s kind of musical, whereas in the 80s your jazz hands were this is what it was, and we're a seriously camp kind of musical. It is taking the piss out of itself, but at the same time really getting the story across. So I'm going to watch the movie. So I don't.
Oh, good.
I don't.
The cast are great. I can't wait to hear what you thought.
I'm struggling with some of the cast, and not because of who they play, but just who they are. I'm not a huge.
Oh, they really are.
Okay.
You can tell they're having fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when cast members are having fun, us at home naturally do. Anyways, it's like two leading romantic leads that have, charisma together, or chemistry. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we feel it at home. We root for them at home. So, I think, and even like Nicole, because I think she's Nicole Kidman, and she is playing a washed-up chorus girl. So she's a supporting role under Meryl, of all people, which I know they've done movies together before. I want to know what Nicole Kidman thought when she first got that script and was told, you're a support playing a chorus girl.
Yeah.
Just to see what her reaction was, whether or not she was like, oh, yeah, cool, I'll look into that. That'll take the pressure off having to bloody look like a mess or something like that, like she has done in a lot of her stuff. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying she seeps into her roles. I wish she would lay off the Botox, because her top lip, a little bit of trouble moving the top lip every now and then.
Yeah.
But you could tell she was having fun.
Yeah, that's great.
And as I say, it was the role James Corden was born to play. Andrew Reynolds is great. Kerry Washington plays the conservative mum, the head of the PTA. She's fantastic in it as well. But how dare she take the part from a white, right-wing American Christian actress? I don't see Kerry Washington going to Trump rallies. So I want authenticity from this movie.
It's because Lauren Southern's got a gig on Sky News, so,
I don't even know who that is.
That's a good thing.
Who that is.
Could you think
the widest? Any of them are.
the widest, most bigoted thing you could find. There she is. Anyway, I think that's amazing that Kerry Washington's playing
Kellyanne
that.
Conway.
Yeah. Okay, Kellyanne. There we go.
Yeah.
Should have gone with that.
She's great in the part. I think she probably could have been a little bit nastier. She seemed a little bit too, see, I want authenticity. They should have picked an actual homophobe for that role.
Yeah,
How
but
dare they not?
When they're bigoted with Jesus in their heart, they do it with a smile on their face. So, it's all very sweet.
Did you know, when I was 14, I ran away from home and joined the Christian church.
Jesus. Whoops.
And Yeah,
No pun.
that's who I met, and they stood around me and had me coughing into a bucket.
Okay.
So I would get rid of all the evil spirits, the homosexual demons.
Oh, were you coughing up the gay?
Yeah.
That's new. I didn't know you could do that.
And my lungs have not been the same since. This is probably why my lung collapsed 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Twice. Not just once. It was twice within 3 or 4 months. The fact that I'm still sitting here today is a genuine miracle. So maybe
Hallelujah.
Jesus is inside of me.
Thank you, Jesus.
Well, he's got to buy me fucking dinner first. Shit.
Yeah.
I kid. I think all the cast were fantastic. But obviously Kerry could have been a little bit nastier. But you know, I don't need authenticity. I want to see good acting.
With the original Broadway cast, there is some seriously good singers in this. I mean, seriously, these guys were really good, and there's some difficult songs to sing in this, and they were great. That kind of got me, because sometimes, you know, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Sometimes I feel like they kind of phone it in a little bit. But I mean, I know not everything's a big number, and you're going to go right the way to the top of your range. But yeah, this
Well, you
cast,
need peaks and valleys.
yeah.
You need those touching
But
moments.
this cast could sing. All of them could sing. It was really well done.
I can't give too much away to our listeners at home, but we may possibly be having a guest coming on very soon. And this guest in particular, she has such an amazing voice, and the power behind it. But then when she does those delicate, soft notes, you hear the heartbreak in it.
Yeah.
And that's what you get from Broadway singers and professional theatre performers, because they're so used to having to convey that emotion while they're singing, not just in their voice, but in their face, in their body, and everything. Film, they're acting with the eyes. You know, there's a close up half the time, so their body doing whatever.
Yep.
We don't see it half the time. You know, the guest worker, she's a master at it. Absolutely, in terms of that power, but then that soft, delicate moment, which you would say is phoned in, and then I would smash you over the head with that phone. Say, shut up.
Whatever. Anyway.
No, like, no, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I do get what you mean. But it didn't last long on Broadway. Like, it didn't even last a full year.
That surprises me. That's look, I don't get. Look, when I can't turn around and say that surprises me. It didn't last forever on Broadway, because I don't get fucking Cats or any of that other or fucking Aladdin. How the shit was that?
Well, just wait till I pick Cats. Well, speaking of Aladdin, do you know who updated the score and put that on the stage?
No.
Chad Bigulin and Matthew Sklar, who wrote the music and lyrics for the Prom.
Oh wow. Okay. Well done, guys. I
was actually
didn't
literally about to get to that.
All right. Well done, guys. I didn't fall asleep during this one, so well done.
Well, there's still the movie to go.
Yeah. There's a chance.
I think it's probably too loud. Rush. No, I don't think there is, considering how loud it is. I would have liked to have seen it at the movies, but I'd like to see it on stage.
On the stage. Yeah. Let's do that. Anyway.
Yeah. What's your score?
Are we out of 5?
Yeah, we're going out of 5.
It's 5 star. It's my second 5 star for the season. Yes.
Holy, okay, I'm partly disappointed in myself that you liked, obviously, because I was meant to torture you, but I'm also very proud of myself that that's 2 points on the board for Team Musical.
Yeah. And
like
we're still at 0 for Team
and
Metal.
I've still got more tricks.
Yeah. Well, don't give me heartfelt.
Yeah.
Don't give me stories that really that are important and that are facing so many kids today. Don't give me that shit. Otherwise, I mean, of course I'm going to give a 5.
Why would you say that?
Yeah, but the music sucked. But yeah, it's 5 stars.
That's a bit of a
There we go.
surprise.
Surprised again.
I knew, look, again, if you would come from away, if you would turn around and said I hated it, I could have just gone, you homophobe. I actually have a confession to make. I didn't give Lindemann's album 1 out of 5.
Okay.
Would you like to know its
I
actual score?
would like to know the score.
In English.
In English, yeah. Just the score.
Because I said it in German.
I know, not the whole thing again,
I gave
just
it
the score.
3 out of
Oh, 3 out of 5. Well, that's a high score.
Well, yeah, but it's not exactly a great.
No.
That's like, yeah, it was good.
No, it's
3.5's like,
it's
it was really
it's
good.
2 more than I thought you'd give it. So there you go. All right.
Yeah, but like, I still want to fuck with you.
Yeah.
So as if I was going to tell you what my That's why I kept saying, if you speak German, don't write in, because I didn't want you to know that I actually gave it 3. But yeah, and look, Slayer got the total score was 1.
It was
in
1
the end.
I thought it was.
I think.
Yeah, my maths was terrible. I thought it was
think that-
28. So yeah. All right. School is out. What have we got for next week?
Okay, now this is where we're going to have to, because I've got 2 albums to give you, and you have 1 album to give me. However, the second album I'm getting is from our special guest, and I don't quite know what it is yet.
Ah, okay.
So
That'll be fun.
once I know, I will announce it on the Twitters. So for your first album, which will hopefully be the Christmas episode, you're going to slip into a pair of In Trousers.
In Trousers. Okay.
Yeah, it's the first part of the Falsettos trilogy, which I did mention. So we are revisiting William Finn again.
Okay. That's the dude.
Lucky
Okay, that's
you.
the dude that did the. Can't remember the one about the
Falsettos.
dude with a head injury. That guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Can't remember what it was called.
Yes.
I'll have to go back and listen to episode 2.
Yes, you will. Now this is on. In Trousers has the line, "Pass the sugar, please." I dreamt last night we flew to China. So, and possibly, maybe, if we're lucky, our special guest is maybe on that CD.
Oh,
Ooh, I don't want to give away too
Well,
much.
that's pressure.
Don't want to spoil anything.
that's not fair. You can't give me a musical where our guest is on it if I sit there and go, well, that was shit.
She's ready.
Okay.
Trust me. All right. She's heard our show. All right. She knows what she's in
Okay.
for.
I think I'm pretty fair,
Or
but
he,
sometimes it's
or
awful.
he. It could be a he.
Yeah. All right.
They know what they're in for. They've listened to our show. A he or a she. I don't want to spoil
No,
it
no.
for anybody. Well, okay, let's just say there are 4 cast members in Trousers, so it's a 1 in 4 chance, isn't it? Okay, for our regular episode, I'm actually going to give you something that I've never seen on stage.
Okay.
So even though I have been taking turns, and next regular episode should be something I have
Yep.
seen on stage, this time I'm going to give you something that I was in,
Okay.
and that's why I never saw it.
Right.
So when I was 11 years old, I went to this audition against 500 other people, and I got in. Don't ask me how. I still don't know how I got into any of the shows I got into. And lucky for you and the rest of us who get to hear your reaction, this show is specifically written for children 18 and under.
Oh, good.
So enjoy.
Yeah.
It is called Bugsy Malone.
Bugsy Malone. I love that movie.
Oh no! Well, then that just ruins it. Oh, so you like that movie?
I like the movie.
Oh, that's not. Oh, that is fair, because obviously then I'll get an extra point. Do we want to change to something else
I can
then?
pretend I haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen the musical. I just saw the movie. It's like
Well,
Sweeney
the
Todd.
soundtrack I'm giving you is to the movie. Because I can't. There's not a proper stage musical version. They've done it, and they did it on West End, but I don't think they released a CD. But the movie album, and Alan Parker died this year, and I was very, very sad by it because of this reason, that he did Bugsy Malone.
Okay. I haven't seen it for a long time though. I mean, not since I was probably that age.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's all right then. That was 70 years ago.
It was. I'm gonna give you, and it's not a straight out metal album, but it is pretty fucking metal, and it's from one of the baddest mofos on the planet, Body Count Carnivore.
Voodoo.
You already know that was.
I grew
that was
up
some
with Body
cult
Count.
killer.
Voodoo is one song that I remember.
All right, so you get the
Yes.
new one.
No,
You get Carnivore.
Okay, that's all right
it,
then,
that's-
because I haven't listened to it in a long
Yeah.
time. Voodoo was always one song that stuck out in my mind because there was such an interesting story being told in
Yeah.
it that was so wacky and scary or different. I don't even remember because I was maybe 10, 9 or something when I first heard it. All right, cool. I'm down with some body
Down some
count.
body counts in the house.
Yeah, to remember, I got up in front of 70 and 80-year-olds and did Eminem.
Well, see, I don't see Ice-T and Eminem on the same planet normally.
No, but what I'm saying is that I like rap.
Yeah.
So technically, you're giving me. I'm giving you something easy, and you're giving me something easy.
Should have gone with another rap album, but that's okay.
Yeah,
all right, we're going to throw that one out there. That's fair. Neither of us knew that. You didn't know I knew Bugsy Malone, and I didn't know you knew Body Count. So
we've done it again.
again.
Every week we've had some sort of, not really Caligula sauce and a slice of Saturday night, but most weeks there's been some sort of correlation between the two.
Yeah.
You know, some sort of weird thing, and that continues.
And that's weird because I again, that was a last minute inclusion. I shuffled around my order and went, you need a bit of body count. All right. I think
that was the
show. We bored them to death enough. We got to do some thank yous and some goodbyes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about our audience, but you've certainly bored me to death. So, on that note, a special thank you to Logan and Death in Bloom for letting us use their theme, and to Jen for your wonderful photoshops. To everyone at home, we hope you take it easy and have a happy holidays, or Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, or a happy non-religious day, whatever the fuck you want to call it, man. It's the festive season. Just be positive. Let's all be positive. Let's make a note. And when you see me being negative, smack me across the head and say, Aaron, you were the one that said it. Let's be positive. Right. Have we got anything to plug?
Well, I'm going to plug, come and say hello to me on the Twitters, @NotGareth. Tell me what you love. Tell me what you hate. I don't care either way. Aaron, you've probably got some books, the Tonniston Tales. People should buy them and read them and review them on Amazon.
So buy the Tonniston Tales, listen to Drag Race Debates, follow us on Twitter, Thrash and Treasure. It's mostly just me tweeting moronic statements. Take care, and we shall see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Hooroo. Oh my god, there's a spider! Ah!